Welcome back to Project GoodSpeed. I'm Jay. The little hatchback here is still under construction. And on today's video, we are going to be, making some progress. So in the previous video, I actually, replaced the headliner on the hatchback. This took way too fucking long, at least 3 hours. And I still haven't even done the edges here. See, I gotta get this foam off the edges and on that side as well. And then I can start getting this part off. And I made it look black instead of the gray. I used some Amazon products and it came out a little nicer than I thought. But, considering I'd never done them before, it's still not that great. So I also managed to remove the window tinting just because it was peeling and it looked purple. Look at that. Blue and purple. Black. Purple, more like it, but I'm not even done. Look at this. This is not fun and this is not a easy thing to do. My hand is on fire, guys. Look at that. We finished. I'm basically in the process of modernizing the interior of the little hatchback as well as changing things up a bit because I am not a fan of the multicolor and multi-style interior that I have in there. So the headliner is now black and that still leaves me, basically the whole issue I'm having is everything below is black and everything up is gray and it doesn't match and it bothers the crap out of me. So after I replaced the headliner on the little Civic here, I am still left with a few issues. Of course, right when I'm talking, traffic just picks up out of nowhere. I managed to find a bunch of stuff at the junkyard and that will definitely help things along. But on today's video, we are still left with the issue that with my headliner being black, my carpet being black, my door panels being black, the interior trim that connects the headliner to the bottom part is still gray. So that's what we're going to be doing on today's video. And we are going to be changing the style of this into black. The plastic that I have here, I'm going to be using SEM paint to, change it black. And I don't think it's going to come out that bad. So no issues there. The problem is some of this trim piece like this here, this is what holds the headliner in place at the rear of the hatchback. And the oh shit handles here are what's going to be an issue because as you guys can hear, see, it's kind of like leather. This is like some rubberized material and it's going to be a little difficult to actually get the paint to stay on here. I might be able to apply a coat or two on here, but with this kind of fabric it always tends to peel, so I'm skeptical about doing that. So this is all of the trim that is pretty much on the upper section of the little hatchback. These are the B and C pillars, right? It's all one piece, and this is the A pillar here, which has a hole in it, but that's all I have. So this is gonna have to do, and it has, broken tabs here, but we're not gonna pay attention to that. And that dog is gonna be annoying to edit out. Just bear with me, guys. So this is everything that is left to turn black, and unfortunately, I don't have enough SEM trim black paint. I'd say I probably have maybe like down here, this much, which is not enough for all of this, especially these larger pieces, which are going to require a few more coats. But I'm going to go ahead and try to paint as much as I can. The issue with even attempting to paint this right is because of its leather material. I've never had a good outcome when I paint that stuff. It always either chips, fades, or just peels off really, and it's also a high traffic area as well. It will be grabbed on. It's just gonna make it worse if I do manage to paint it. So now because this material is already textured, there's really no need for me to scuff it up, but I'm gonna give it a shot anyway. It might be worth a shot, I don't know. I think this particular hole is somebody installed a wing mirror before me, because this is where the windshield meets the roof, I think. So that looks like it's where a mirror would go, but I can't really fix that, so. All right, looks like we're done. Unfortunately, like I said, I don't have enough paint for all of this, so I'm thinking I'm gonna start with the smallest pieces first, just because it will take the least amount of paint. And I will leave this bigger pieces for tomorrow. I don't know what happened to my camera settings, but my entire footage from my last video was in 60 frames per second, which is gonna make things look weird. I'm not a computer guy, but I'm gonna go ahead and do another voiceover here. So hopefully this turns out well, really. I don't have an issue with any of this paint peeling. Ever since I've been using this SEM trim paint, I actually use it on my window trim, and it has held up quite nice, and that's on the exterior. So I'm hoping that, you know, these interior pieces pretty much hold up just as well. All that's to do is to paint all these bigger items, and hopefully I don't get any streaks or, you know, dirt falling on these, because it's pretty hot out there and kind of windy. So unfortunately though, I ran out of the good stuff, and I placed an order, but this looks like an aftermarket replica, really. I don't think this is really the SEM stuff, but I'm gonna give it a shot because it's all I got left. Hey man, look, this, you see this logo here? Look at this. One of these is not authentic. You see this? This is trim black, and this is trim black. On, you know, in italics. Oh man, thanks a lot, Amazon. Look at this. This is the map light. This is the little switch for locking and unlocking it. This is what I found in my previous video, and it was kind of what was holding me up, really. Otherwise, I would have posted this video first. If I paint these, it's very likely that they will come off whenever you know, hold on to them or rub them. Any kind of friction. Look, there's already some flakiness going on, which is probably just dirt or dead skin cells, whatever it is. It probably won't hold the paint all that well. So my option was either paint them and risk it, or go ahead and flock this stuff, which I still have some material left over, so I can do that. However, it's very messy, and it takes a long time for it to dry, and even then it's still not guaranteed, you know? So I'm gonna paint it anyway. We're gonna go ahead and do that right now. I've applied the first layer, the first coat of the so-called SEM paint, and we're just gonna let that dry. But looks like I've got some detailing stuff. We've got terry cloths in this one, and drying towels, and for the windshield. We'll do all this stuff later while the paint is drying for the other coats, because to be honest, it's just multiple coats of painting, really 5-minute intervals to letting them dry, and just hit it again and again. And we're gonna do that 3 times for all of them. So we'll tune back when it's done. Look at how it turns out. I am pretty stoked at how this looks. Also, the hand rails here, they are not that bad. I mean, I can't say how long they'll last, but they didn't turn out that bad. The same thing for this fabric material here. You guys can see it's still gray on the bottom side, but at the top, still black. I thought that might have been peeling or chipping, but no, that's just a tear in the fabric. Right there. But basically I just hit each and every one of these at least 3 times. The first coat was light, and the next 2 were kind of medium coats. And then on some of these, I gave it a 4th coat just to apply it nice and thick, and also to get the edges. That's very easily missed, especially with stuff that's lying down like that. So the 4th coat for all of these were basically just a go around all of the edges. Show you guys some shots here. Yeah, I just pretty much took my time with this kind of stuff. Actually, this is probably the most detail I've put into painting, but it's only because I don't want to do this again. Actually, that's probably why most people put more detail into painting. Rose bushes. Oh, it's gonna hurt. Oh, just digging in my butt. Oh. And I gotta say, it looks pretty much OEM, certain spots of this stuff. However, didn't turn out that well. That's partly because the material's broken like that. And I think on one of these, I think it's this piece here, this part is slightly burned on one of these, I think right here, and it just doesn't look that great. I guess the paint just didn't adhere quite well, but overall, not bad. We have our small little pieces here, and our map light, and everything now has been painted. So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. It only got me about, I'd say a paint can and a half. 2, obviously, just to be safe. That's why I ordered 2. And it was a pretty chill day. Not a lot of hard work went into this. Obviously, I prepped already, so today was just painting. And we are one step closer to getting this Civic interior fully remodeled. And I still don't know whether or not to do one more modification before I get this thing running. I don't know. I'll think about it. So until next time, guys, take care and good speed.